The WI believes that women who have experienced domestic violence should always have access to legal aid. That is why the WI is working hard to make sure the needs of women are considered now that the Legal Aid, Sentencing and Punishment of Offenders Bill passes through Parliament. So we are concerned that the forms laid out in the bill will deny women access to legal aid and in the end will deny them access to safety. We've decided to bridge the gap between women and government by going out and speaking directly to them about legal aid and actually what it means to them. The message was clear. Legal aid is a vital life-saving resource for women who suffer domestic violence.
Allowing women to leave these violent homes also means that they have housing needs, they have debt problems perhaps, they need help with childcare. There are all sorts of other things that you need to rebuild your life. I think limiting legal aid is actually reducing the opportunities for women to rebuild their lives away from the abuse of violent relationships.
You've not got any money, you don't know how to get benefits, you don't know how to get housing help for your children. You need legal people to point you in the right direction for that. And if that's cut, then women will be more likely to stay put because they'll think, if I leave, where do I turn? That safety net's going to be taken from me. You pluck up the courage to go and see the police and they tell you, if you've not got visible scars, they tell you that, well, it's a domestic, we can't really get involved. So then you lose the courage and you don't want to tell them again because you think they don't believe you.
I wouldn't be able to meet the criteria for eligibility. Proving domestic abuse, especially psychological and emotional, is very, very difficult. So the chances that I could meet any of the criteria or provide any of the evidence that is mentioned in the proposals would be impossible for somebody in my situation.
The assessment that was made of my children and I also has no time frame on it, and we will continue to be at very high risk of serious harm. So I think there is a complete lack of understanding around domestic violence and stalking issues generally for them to have come up with this bizarre time frame. I represented myself because I couldn't access legal aid due to the fact that I work. It's a terrifying experience. I'm quite an educated, articulate person, and when I got into the court, it was extremely difficult for me to understand what was going on at all. I was being talked over by the barrister from the other side. I didn't understand what a Section 7 report was.
Although I do have legal training, I would find it a very, very difficult process. I cannot imagine what it would be for somebody that doesn't understand the language and that is emotionally and psychologically impacted by domestic abuse, that they would be capable of doing it. It is denying people access to real justice.
Domestic violence is a major child protection issue, and if you're an abused woman, not being able to access proper legal representation around that and advice about the processes, I think there are going to be some serious cases of child protection.
And I think withdrawing legal aid would make a huge impact on women and on families in general. It will disempower women to try and make better lives for themselves and future generations.
I would have gone back to him because it wasn't an option that my children would have gone into care and I had nowhere to take them. I would have gone back to him and he would have murdered me. So without legal aid, I would be dead.